Good morning, students. Welcome you all for Next Generation Learning. Today we are going to see the subject Science and Class 4, Chapter number 7, How Plants Survive. Topics: Adaptation, Terrestrial Plants, Aquatic Plants, Insectivorous Plants. The first topic is adaptation. We know that different places around the world have different type of climate, soil, rainfall, water, and etc. While some places are very hot and other places are very cold. In some places the people receive heavy rainfall. In some places they receive less rainfall. So from this we can say that in all the places do not have the same of soil, availability of water and sunlight and or other conditions. So plants develop special features which enable them to adjust to their surroundings. The development of characteristics that enable the organism to live in a particular environment is known as adaptation. The adaptation is nothing but if you take any plant, that plant grow in hot climate. The plant does not receive enough water, but the plant grow that place. How it adjusts to their surroundings and grow. So the development of characteristic that enables the organism to live in a particular environment, that is called adaptation. Habitat: all living organisms adapt to the surroundings in which they live. Where we they live, where we will live, we have to adapt to that surroundings. So all living organism is nothing but if you take a human being also living organism, plant also living organism, animal also living organism. So every living organism adapt to surroundings and they live. So the natural environment in which a plant or animal lives, grows and reproduce is called as habitat. Or you understand what is maybe habitat? If you take a plant, the plant grow and reproduce. The same as if you take for human being, the human being also grow and reproduce. So adapt to that particular surroundings, they grow and reproduce. That is called habitat. The next one, terrestrial plant. What is meant by terrestrial plant? The plant that grown on land are known as terrestrial plant. There are the different type of terrestrial plant such as desert, plains, grassland and hill. Hill also land, desert also land, plain also land, grassland also land. So these are the part of the land, types of the land. So the plants that are grown on the land means that type of plant are called terrestrial plant. The first one, plants in desert. Look at this image. This is a desert. You know that if you take desert, the desert climate of the desert is always hot and it is very dry. The desert receive only less rainfall throughout the year, but some plants are grown on that desert. How that plants are grown in desert? How it adapt in that surroundings? The plants that grow in the desert region have features that help them to survive under these extreme conditions. It have very few leaves to minimize the loss of water. So some plants grow on the desert. So that type of plants have only few leaves. Why it have a few leaves? To minimize the loss of water. You know that if you take for the desert climate is very hot, the water availability is very less. So to avoiding the water loss, these plants having only few leaves. The next one, many of the plants do not have leaves at all. Instead, they have spines. Look at the image, the first image, cactus. It was grown in a desert, and this cactus does not have any leaves. And instead of the leaves, the plant have spines. The plants have green and fleshy stem which perform the function of the photosynthesis. So when we touch the cactus, the stem of that cactus is very light and it's looking like a sponge. And also it is in green in color. And the plants have long and well developed root. And the cactus and also date palm have the well developed root. Why it has a well developed root and a long root? Because the long root or help them to draw water from the deep underground. So the example of desert plant are cactus and date palm. What are the special features? The plants grown in desert? The plants have only few leaves, and instead of leaves they have a spine also, and they have a long and well developed root. The examples are cactus and date palm. The next one, plants in plains. The plains means the land is flat and climate or neither very hot or cold. In some places very hot, in some places cold. Some parts of the plains have a very hot climate. So trees which grown in a such region have a lot of branches and leaves. Look at these two images. The first one is a peepal tree, the second one is a gulmohar. Both the trees have a lot of branches and leaves. But the plants grown in desert does not have any leaf. But the plants grown in a plains have the lot of branches and leaves. They also shed their leaves at the some time, not sometime, same time once in a year. Once in a year, these people and Kulmohar trees shed their all the leaves and again it grows. So these trees are called deciduous trees. Example, peepal tree, banyan tree, neem tree, sesame tree and gulmohar. These are the example of plants grown in plains. These type of trees have lot of branches and leaves, and also it shed their leaves once in a year. And these type of trees are called deciduous trees. And some places are hot, damp and receive lot of rainfall. Maybe the rainfall is very less. It is maybe hot climate means the people and banyan tree are grown that place. In some places they receive a lot of rainfall. So trees that are grown in such a place is called as evergreen trees. Evergreen means every time the tree looking like a green. So that is called evergreen tree. These trees have leaves throughout the year. The examples are rubber tree, teak tree, coconut, pepper, and sugarcane. These are the evergreen trees. These trees grow only in the where they receive more rainfall. The next one, plants in grassland. Grassland are large stretches of land that have tall grasses. They do not have receive much rainfall. Bushes grown in grassland. Some small plants also found in grassland. Look at this image. The grassland is not a small place. It is a very large places. In this grassland, small bushes and small plant are grown. This grassland receive only less rainfall. The next one, plants in hills. You know that if you take for the hill, the climate is always chill and chill means cold. In some places, the snowfall during the winter season also. So the trees are very tall and straight. The branches of trees slope downward. They have needle-like leaves that prevent too much of water loss and also help the trees to shed the snow more easily. The trees also bear horns instead of flowers. The example of plants in hills are pine tree, fir tree, and cedar tree. Look at this image. Here, this tree is very tall and straight. The branches of trees are slope downward. And look at the second image. The leaf of this type of trees are it's look like a needle. Why it is a needle like? Because when the snow fall on the leaves, it is easily to set the snow very easily. The next one, instead of flowers, this type of these type of trees have cones. So what are the plants grown in hills means pine tree, fir tree, cedar tree. The plants grown in hill areas are always tall and straight. The branches are always sloped downward and the leaves are looking like a needle, and instead of flowers they have bare cones. The next one, plants in marshes. The marshes area means nothing but they have a sticky and clayey and a damp area. The water is always more in that places. So when the water is more, the soil is always sticky. As the soil is mostly covered with water, their roots cannot obtain enough air from the soil to breathe. Hence, the root of these plants grow out of the soil and water, which help them to breathe. Such roots are known as breathing roots. The example of these plants and mosses are mangroves, are found in marshy areas. Look at this image. Here, the water is the water is in everywhere. The plant grown on this water, the roots are always out of the soil. Why the root of these plants are out of the soil? Because it cannot breathe inside of the soil. So such roots are called breathing roots. So which plant grown in a marshes area? That is the mangroves. The mangroves only grown in marshes area. The marshes area is nothing but it fully covered with water. Uh, The soil is always sticky, and the plants grown in this area cannot breathe the air. So instead of so the root of these plants are grow out of the soil and which help them to breathe. The next one, plants in rainforest. Normally, rainforest means these areas receive more rainfall than other areas. So, rainforests are generally found in places with a hot climate and heavy rainfall. A variety of plants and trees are found in rainforest. As the trees grow close to each other, it is difficult for the sunlight to reach the ground. Many climbers grow around the trees towards the sunlight. If you take for the rainforest, here many type of trees are grown. Even the sunlight cannot enter into the forest because the forests are fully covered with plants and climbers, bushes and small trees. So it is always very close to each other and dense. Due to that, the sunlight cannot enter into that rainforest. The next one, aquatic plants. In a terrestrial plant, we see that plants in desert, plants in the plains, plants in the hills, plants in marshy areas, and plants in rainforest. The next one is aquatic plant. Plants that grown in water are called aquatic. Aqua means water. So the plant that grown in water means that plant are called aquatic plant. There are the three type of aquatic plant. One is a floating aquatic, fixed aquatic, and underwater aquatic. The first one, floating plants. The floating means, you know that the meaning of the float means it will float on the water. So floating plants float on the surface of the water. These plants are spongy and filled with air. This makes them light and help them to float in water. During hot day, aquatic animals hide beneath the floating plants to keep themselves cool. The example of floating plants are duckweed, water lettuce, and water hyacinth. Look at these two images. One is a duckweed and a hyacinth. The leaf of this plant are very light and it is always float in water. And the stem the stem or look like a sponge and it is filled with air. And during this hot climate, the aquatic animals, what are the aquatic animals? The fish, some other animals are living in water, no? That aquatic animals are always hide beneath the floating plants to keep themselves cool. So the example of floating plants are duckweed and hyacinth. The next one, fixed plant. These plants generally grow in a small water bodies such as pond. So the fixed plants always grown in a small water bodies pond, and the root of such plants are fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. The plants have a light, hollow stem that support the flowers and leaves. Look at the image. The first image is a lotus, and the second image I shown that the root of the lotus it was attached to the bottom of the pond. And look that leaf of this lotus, it is very broad and it is a very light one. The leaves are broad and float flat, that help them to get enough air and sunlight. Stomata are mostly present on the upper surface of the leaf. And the stomata we will learn in the next lesson. I will tell you what is by stomata. But if you take for the fixed plant, that plant have the plant leaves are very broad and it is always float on the water and it get enough air and sunlight from the outside, and they have a waxy coating on their surface which repel water and prevent them from not coating, that is rotting. The spelling mistake, not coating, coating, not coating, that is rotting. So when the water droplet on the leaf of this plant, that water drop are not absorbed by the leaf because some waxy coating on their leaves, that is waterproof material. So the example of fixed plant are, one is a lotus and another one is a water lily. The next one, underwater plant. Underwater plant are completely submerged in water. If you take lotus and lily and duckweed and hyacinth, the leaf of the plant are floating on the water surface. But if you take for the underwater plants, the leaf are not float on the water. It is completely submerged in the water. These plants have long, thin and narrow leaves which allow them to move with water current. The water current is nothing but the movement of the water is called water current. So the plants have very long and thin and narrow leaves. The leaves also do not have stomata on their surface. Again, I will tell you the stomata. The next lesson I will teach you what is meant by stomata. But the underwater plants do not have stomata on their surface. The one is the example of underwater plants are Hydrilla. The next one, they breathe through their body surface. Underwater aquatic plants remove the carbon dioxide released by the aquatic plants. The example are Hydrilla and tape grass. Look at this image. Here the tape grass and Hydrilla are submerged into the water and they have a long and thin and narrow leaves. What is the uses of this underwater plant means? They remove the carbon dioxide released by the other aquatic plants. So there are the three type of aquatic plants. One is floating plant and another one is a fixed plant and the third one is a underwater plant. The fourth one is insectivorous plant. You know the meaning of insect. So insectivorous plant means the plant trap the insect and grown on that particular area. So this type of plants are called insectivorous plant. Look at the image. That is known as a Venus flytrap. Some plants that trap insect in order to fulfill their nutritional needs. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. If you take lotus and water lily, hyacinth, teak tree, coconut tree, all the trees are prepared their own food from the photosynthesis process and they get all the nutritional nutrients from the surroundings. But this insectivorous plants, how they get nutrients means by trapping the insect and they fulfill their nutritional needs. So this type of plants are called insectivorous plants. The example is Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. When an insect sit on the edges, the leaf shut and traps the insect inside. Look at the image. Here, the one house fly is sitting on the fly trap, Venus flytrap. When an insect sit on the edges, the leaf shut and it trap the insect inside and it absorb all the nutrients from that insect. The next example of insectivorous plants are pitcher plant. The pitcher plant is also known as insectivorous plant. Look at this image. This is a pitcher plant. It has a pitcher like leaves which trap the insect. There is a lid like structure at the opening of the pitcher that closes as soon as an insect falls into it. Look at this image. When the housefly is sitting on the pitcher plant, it traps the fly and it has a lid like structure. So when it trapped the insect, it closed. So these two are the examples of the insectivorous plants. One is Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. This is a good to know. When a Venus flytrap plant captures an insect, it reopens after 5 to 12 days to release the parts of the insect it could not digest. Once the Venus flytrap plant capture the insect means it reopens after 5 days or 12 days to uh, to release the parts of the insect it could not digest. So what are the parts are not digest? It could release only after the 5 or 12 days. Dear students, I hope you understood how plants survive. The first topic we know that adaptation, the second one habitat, and third one terrestrial plant. Then the plants that grown on land means that is a terrestrial plant. Then aquatic plant, the plants that grown in water means that is the aquatic plant. The third one is a insectivorous plant. So under the terrestrial plant, we know that the plants grown in a hills, grassland, desert, rainforest, and marshes. If you take aquatic plant, the plant are divided into three type. One is a fixed aquatic plant, floating aquatic plant, and underwater aquatic plant. Thank you for watching.